Good evening, friends. This video is a continuation of our earlier video on designing the service strategies, and we had discussed three kinds of the strategies. So, continuing with that, I would like to highlight here that when we design and develop the new services, we have to pay attention to degree of standardization, degree of customer contact in developing a service, and also what is going to be the right mix of physical goods and intangible services. So, and we can apply these ideas, taking the case of the restaurant, bank, or hospital, or training services, educational services, etc. Now, I want to talk about the products also, the goods also. Like there are various kinds of products, mobile phones, bottles, etc. Like I had shown in the last video also. So, when we design and develop the product, so we have to also think about the what will be the process of manufacturing. So in this video, I am going to talk about the designing of the products and the process selection and what are the important factors. So basically, now starting the product design, please note product design must provide most convenient and simple solution for manufacture. It must specify the product appearance, how the product is going to look, and what will be the dimensions. Say we are maybe we are producing a simple like the packaging material or a polythene bag or even a pen, you can say, or a duster which is used for rubbing the board. So what is going to be the appearance, actually how it will look like, and what will be the dimensions. It has to be handy, or it has for holding and for using also. Usability of the product is very important. So for that reason, the dimensions and the tolerances of the dimensions means the variation will be there when we make the product through machines. The machines are set, and they actually perform under the statistical quality control principles. So but still there will be variation, and we have to control the variation through application of control chart technique, etc. And we have to ensure that the when the product is manufactured, it has to be within the tolerance limits set or agreed with the customer. So the variation has to be minimum. Suppose we are making a product of 100 mm into 50 mm. So if the tolerance allowed is plus minus 1 mm, so we have to ensure that it is within plus minus 1 mm, or when it is plus minus 0.5 mm, then it has to be within plus minus 0.5 mm. So that we have to ensure means that it has to be within the tolerance limits. And we have to check the product according to the standards, the performance standards, because the product has to perform while being used by the customer. So when we design the product, we can say that there are actually various stakeholders in the development, and they participate in the development process. The customers, the marketing personnel, engineering department, R&D design function department is also there. Then even the competitors, actually they don't participate, but and they are not stakeholders, but we take their products. Okay, sometimes we go for reverse engineering and deconstruct the design, or when we make our own product with our own idea development, we compare our products with the competitors. So they are not the direct participants, but they are the source of information, important information. Then the suppliers. So suppliers are part of that. So in the idea development, actually, you can say that when you make the product development, so there is continuous collaboration, interaction, exchange of information between the marketing function and the production function. So and with their collaboration, actually the organization has to conduct the technical and economic feasibility studies. Means the product has to be made, the technical requirements have to be met, and these also have to be feasible actually for making also, and also economically also it should be feasible. So then we design the prototype and test the prototype for performance, and the test launch of the product is done. Then economic evaluation of the prototype also has to be done, and based on that the design model of the production is prepared, and this model also has to be refined and modified with time, continually improved. Continual improvement means with each actually information we conduct the project, actually it is a project approach. So whatever the information we are getting, and we are studying that and making the improvement, that is called the continual improvement with every phase also, you can say. So the product design process actually can be said to be comprising of the steps like idea development, then product screening is done, It can be a formal and structured approach also, and we have to fit the design with the facility and labor skills, size of market, contribution margin. All these are the factors. The break-even analysis has to be conducted, and also we have to decide, think, and figure out what is going to be the return on sales. Then preliminary design testing is done, and finally the design of the product is made. And this designing is based on the test results, the performance results, the facility, equipment, material, and labor skills. All these factors are considered. So product designing is a long process. It requires focus, and a rigorous work has to be done. Now, there are 5 factors which we have to pay attention to when we are designing the product for manufacturing, because when we are conducting the technical and economic feasibility studies, and the manufacturing also has to be feasible actually. So for that, increasing the feasibility, actually we have to simplify and minimize the parts. Take the example of the say simple, you can say the projector remote. It is simple, convenient, and it is handy. The design is very simple and convenient and looks sleek actually, and there have to be minimum parts. Then standardization is important. Standardization means the dimensions of each and every component, each and every part. These have to be fixed in advance, and the production of the parts and the components, if they are outsourced, it has to be according to the dimensions agreed and according to the standard specification, because that only will allow the assembly of the product. Then we have to also think about the manufacturers or the supplier. They have to think about designing the parts for multiple applications also. Modular designs can be designed, and also we have to simplify the operations. So when we design for manufacturing, the basic guideline is that we have to go for simplification, standardization, designing parts for multiple applications, using of the modular designs, and also simplification of the operations. So then we come to this now when we are done with the product development, and for manufacturing also feasibility studies are conducted. So we have to pay attention to the selection of the process actually. So then only we say that okay, this kind of process will be feasible, and that also, for that we require so many distinct factors we have to keep in mind, like what is going to be the volume of the product, what is the market size, and what is going to be the variety actually. So volume and variety and the cost, all these factors are very important. So there are various kinds of processes. These can be classified in many ways, but most of the literature and the operations books, you will find that the 5 kinds of processes are mentioned, which are like the job shop. First one is the job shop, second is the project process, third is the batch process, then the assembly line process, and the continuous process. So job shop actually is used for producing small batch or of large number of products, like the machine tools, or job shop can be also for other kinds, like we are having the machine tools and instrument machines also. They also have a job shop type this thing. Then the project process, to take this is called to make a one at a time product exactly according to the customer specifications, or we know that R&D studies are also carried out and the R&D projects are taken up. So there also the project approach is there. In the sponsored actually studies, when we carry out the sponsored studies or the task, the project process is there. So, and also like construction projects, these are also not only when you are giving the construction output, the product, the house you are making for the customer, it is actually a project. It may be a housing project. That is also a very good example. So job shop, project process, then there is batch process is there, which is used for making the products with the based on customer orders or specifications, standard specifications also, but these require heavy equipment and specialty chemicals. This is also used in that also, making of the paints and enamels. So batches are made and that is called the batch process in 1000 liters and 1 ton and all that. Then assembly line processes are there. These are used to produce large quantities of the standard product, like that. We know all that the assembly lines for manufacture of automobiles and cars and scooters and all motorcycles and all that. Then the 5th one is the continuous process, which is used to produce a very high volume of fully standardized products. like the cement production or in the thermal power plant or the refineries, oil refineries or the sugar refineries and all that. These are the continuous processes. So but then what we have to do, we have to take the decision, and what will be the actually the decision criteria. The decision criteria will be like the what is the flow, the kind of flow of the product, and what is the volume actually. And also we have to remember the what is the life cycle stage of the product we are making. So in the case of the what is it, what are important factors are uh, like these are the factors like volume and variety, then the capacity of the plant, lead time is important, and the flexibility and efficiency. So now we can also categorize according to the 5 process, according to in 4 categories also, depending on the flow. So if the flow is jumbled, like we are getting the orders on and off, so we use the you can say it is called the job shop process. And the another example of the job shop is like picking the printers, computer printers, commercial printers, etc. And here the volume is low. So low volume and jumbled flow, taking the example of commercial printer, we can discuss this. Then after that, next maybe that the flow is there in the manufacturing, but it is disconnected. So that is called the, you can say, batch process. And in batch process, we are making the products according to the, like taking the example of enamels and the heavy equipment. So the volume here is still low. So this matrix actually process matrix can be used for this. Then there is line flow is there, but connected line flow means the assembly line approach is there. So here we have few major products and volume is high. And next is the continuous flow. Continuous flow means the sugar refinery and the oil refinery, and the volume is very high here. So depending on the plant capacity, the kind of flow and the volume required, we categorize the processes into 4 categories here: job shop, batch, assembly line, and the continuous flow. So then what are the main criteria for selection of the process? So we pay attention to the product process matrix, life cycle stage, degree of vertical integration also, then the flexibility of resources, and what is the mix between capital and human resources, and degree of customer contact. That also is important. So I will conclude this my video here. Maybe in the next video I'll be taking the discussion forward with other techniques like the QFD for manufacturing the products, quality function deployment. But in this video of over 12 minutes duration, I will be concluding here that we have discussed here about the product designing and development process and the selection of the processes for manufacturing different kind of products depending on the flow, the volume, and the variety. So if you have any question, you can call me at 9818604898, or you can write to me and send me a mail also. So thank you so much for watching and waiting for your feedback. Thank you very much, friends.